Chris from 40 Thrive. Welcome to my channel where I like to drink coffee and say shit. That's good coffee. If you've found this channel, it means that you are more than likely seeking to make some changes in your life. And what is 40 Thrive? Well, 40 Thrive is more than just the pursuit of weight loss. 40 Thrive is really about rediscovering your body's potential even after you feel like you've run out of options. Actually, the true basis behind 40 Thrive is my sheer fascination with the capabilities of the human body. I've been doing a lot of listening to different podcasts such as the Huberman Lab podcast, which really breaks down a lot of the mechanisms and science behind the biology that makes our bodies capable of what they are capable of. And as of recently, I've been putting a lot of those theories into practice, and I've experienced a very dramatic change in my own physiology as a result. So in this video, I just want to talk about some of the things that you can expect, some of the pitfalls, some of the setbacks, some of the discouragements that you might face, and some of the reasons why you might consider giving up. But I also want to put out there that real change is possible. Results are possible. They are not without challenge, and they are not outside of your reach. Now, of course, everybody is approaching their own fitness goals from a different standpoint. I started off about a year ago. I'm approaching my 1-year keto-versary, I'm calling it, in just about a month. Right around the start of Lent is when I began my keto journey, and that has had a domino effect on my weight, my overall well-being, my strength, my stamina, my energy, my focus, my mood, and last of all is my physical appearance. I started off about 40 pounds heavier, 50, it just depends on, when you're looking at the scale. But I can say right now I'm down to, I would say, a pretty healthy 155 with room to grow, and I'd like to add back on some muscle, and I want to say that that's happening. So as I mentioned, one of the reasons why you might feel discouraged, a lot of people get discouraged because they've been thrown a lot of different suggestions and been pushed in a lot of different directions, how to lose weight, how to feel better, and they just don't know where to begin that journey. People read a lot about these fad diets, and I could say that I initially thought that keto was a fad diet. But when you look at it from the perspective of how we ate ancestrally, it is the furthest thing from a fad diet. In fact, the way we eat now, when we look at the standard American diet, that is a fad diet. And I wholeheartedly believe 100 years from now, we're going to be looking back at ourselves as a society, and it's going to seem so foreign to us that we ever sought low-fat foods and processed sugars and artificial sweeteners. That to me is ludicrous, but I'm going off topic. So let's start with, you want to make a change in yourself. Maybe you're overweight. That's usually the cause why people take a minute to stop and recognize something needs to change. Well, I want you to push that aside, push that out of your mind, because ask yourself, did you make a conscious choice to put on extra weight? Did you make a conscious choice to start feeling achy? Did you make a conscious choice to start experiencing symptoms that you can't understand where they originated, why you're feeling this, why you're pumping yourself full of ibuprofen every day or antihistamines every day. Did you make a choice to do that? Did you make a choice to start experiencing skin breakouts? The list goes on and on. The answer, I would say in most cases, is no. So why then would you simply make a choice to say, well, I don't want to be overweight anymore, or I don't want to experience those symptoms? You didn't make a choice for those things to happen. If you want those things to go away, you need to look at your habits. And that's where the challenge starts. Now, we can talk a lot about bad habits. Drinking, smoking, staying up too late, night snacking, binge watching TV, maybe you have a series of unhealthy habits and impulses. I know I have a few. But here's the part that's kind of miraculous. No matter how far gone you might feel you are, there are a couple factors that you can do to do a complete reset on your body. One being diet and nutrition. Two being incorporating some very small but very impactful things into your daily routine. Let's first talk about nutrition. Now, you might have attempted to eat properly in the past, and it may have been this daunting maze of constantly having to question what to buy, what to eat, how much to buy, looking at ingredients. Is this bad? Is that bad? Let's simplify it. If you were around 1,000 years ago, and if you wouldn't have recognized that item, either as it came out of the ground or as it came out of the animal, don't eat it. Simply don't eat it. We would not have been seeking out things that were labeled low fat, no fat, non-fat, any of that stuff. We would not have been looking for things that said sugar-free, whole grain. We wouldn't have been looking for any of that stuff. All that is processed, all that is garbage, all that is a bunch of propaganda put in front of us thanks to big agriculture that has been subsidized by the government. And so naturally they want to make that product that we have an excess of, that has permeated just about everything on our store shelves. We want to make that look as attractive as possible. Non-fat, sugar-free, gluten-free, whole grain, zero trans fats, zero saturated fats. Now some of these are not as bad as others, but let's eliminate anything that has soybean oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, anything that is not butter or animal fat or olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, or coconut oil should not be in your diet. Now again, I'm probably going too far down one certain path. Let's try to keep the topic rolling here. About a year ago, I eliminated breads and sugars from my diet. Now that sounds harder than it really is. I'm Greek, and I grew up on sweets. I grew up on breads. It's part of my culture. But you can love fire. You don't have to stick your hand in the flame. Okay, there's reasonable levels of these things that you could possibly enjoy. The analogy I like to use is, if your body is a vessel, we'll use a boat in this analogy, it's okay to put things inside that boat when you have a healthy boat. If you have a hole in that boat and you're taking in water, why would you keep loading more things into it? First, find the leak, and then we could talk about what you can and cannot put inside that vessel. By going on a pretty strict whole foods, clean keto diet, you can eliminate all these additional variables. You can tune out a lot of that static that makes it so hard to figure out, should I eat this, should I not eat this? It really becomes very simplified when you stick with a keto diet. And I don't mean going to the store and buying a keto bar, or this says keto, that says low carb, this says high fat, this says high protein. Don't be fooled by that. Keto does not mean high protein. Keto means no carbs, high fat, or high protein. So as long as it's not a potato, as long as it's not bread, as long as it's not candy, and as long as it's not processed, you can eat it. All the meat you want, all the leafy green vegetables you want, all the broccoli and Brussels sprouts you want, all the butter, all the bacon, all the dark chocolate, well, to a certain degree. So that's my tip with nutrition on how to get there. Now here's the other thing. Our bodies are these amazing machines, and they come equipped with, imagine you could just pull a lever or push a button on a machine and that machine does what you want it to. Well, our body's actually equipped with a lot of instruments that when you give those instruments the information that they're designed to do, it triggers a lot of things, a lot of reactions that we've been led to believe that we can't do this on our own. We've been led to believe that we have to do this through drugs, through medications, through tonics and herbs and all this other stuff. Our bodies are equipped with the mechanisms to, the first and foremost thing that we need to look at, the thing that's going to give us the motivation to do what we need to do to get out there and even begin a workout regimen or begin some healthy routines, is our dopamine. And dopamine starts with our eyes. The first thing you should be doing, rain or shine, doesn't matter, is get outside as soon as you wake up and take 5 to 10 minutes to just sit outside. And even better if it's cold outside. Put yourself in a little bit of discomfort. We have been made to be too complacent. We've been made to believe that we just want to be sedentary and comfortable all the time. Well, that is not what our body was designed to do. And so what happens is we fall into these depressions because our body forgot how to be resilient. Put yourself in a little bit of discomfort. And that takes me to my next point about routine. Pick up some weights. I'm not saying go out and hit the gym and start doing squats and all that stuff. What I'm saying is even just a little bit of stress on your body with weights reminds your body what it was meant to do. Your body starts naturally producing these chemicals that encourage us to go out and seek and do and then feel reward from that. Now, I probably lost some of you there. I know you're like, Chris, I don't know about all that. That's getting into shit. If I wanted to just exercise, I knew that. Yeah, but, so did I, and I chose to ignore it. But that was before I realized it's not as difficult as you think. As a matter of fact, it gets easier the more you do it. And there's going to be days where you struggle. I promise you, I was in your shoes. And there are some days where I'm working out and I get in front of that mirror and I realize, oh my God, is this the same guy? I've never had features like this before. I've never seen definition like this before. I've never seen muscle growth like this before. Oh my God, this is incredible. And then I'll look at myself later on that day and I'm like, the hell was I even thinking? Why did I think I looked good? The thing you have to understand about your body is we are not static. We are not always going to look the same. That's why when you see Hollywood actors, there's a ton of makeup and lighting that goes into making those guys look good all the time. That's why they are who they are and we are living the lives we lead. Don't be so hard on yourself. Not to mention the fact that you're not going to see the results right away. getting back to what I said initially, it didn't happen overnight that you became tired, out of shape, bloated, inflamed, blemished, whatever, horns growing out of your head, whatever. That didn't happen overnight. So improving yourself isn't going to happen overnight either. However, I can promise you that if you incorporate proper nutrition, proper routines, and then the other thing we take for granted is our rest. And I mean good, meaningful rest. Not laying there with your phone in front of your face, with that light in your eyes, until you finally pass out with a few beers sitting in your belly, swimming around, disrupting your sleep. That's not good rest. What you need is good rest. A little white noise in the background, that's fine. Whatever's going to allow you to drift off and have a good deep sleep. You know what? Those workouts that you did, those curls, those push-ups, those crunches, those squats, those things that you did the day before, that's when they show up the next day. The next day you're going to see a little growth. You're going to feel a little tightness. You're going to see your belly slim down a little bit. So there's no magic to it. Stop bogging your body down with unnecessary garbage. I'm not going to tell you to watch your calories. I'm not going to tell you to count this, do that, and then eat this, and as long as you do this at this time of day, and then don't do this for 3 hours. And I'm not going to tell you. I don't think about what I do. I wake up. I don't eat. I drink a little bit of water and coffee. No sugar, no cream. Although heavy cream is okay. Butter's okay. I do my workout. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes of working out. You could do it with weights, without weights. Stand in one spot. Do some planks. Do some jumping jacks. Anything. Hell, buy a 15-pound medicine ball from the dollar store and follow the goofy little illustrations they have on the side of the box. I promise you, no matter what you're doing, it's better than the person that's sitting on the couch doing nothing. And then you're going to see those results and you're going to want to do more and more and more. So that was my attempt at trying to summarize what will hopefully become a journey for you. And I want your comments, I want your questions, I want your suggestions. I want to reach out to anyone who, if you're watching this video right now and saying, nah, not for me, do me a favor and at least tell me what's holding you back. Okay? And while you're at it, please go ahead and like and subscribe and share this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris with 45.